fire by night through the wilderness. And then he says in verse number 13, "For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live." If you live after the flesh, if the goal of your life is to gratify the flesh, all of your carnal appetites without restraint, then you're going to die probably much younger than you would have physically, and definitely eternally you're going to die spiritually. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, now your new spiritual nature recognizes what God says about living after the flesh. Your spiritual nature inside you now resists pandering to the urges of the flesh. Your spirit grieves when you disobey. It vexes you and it urges you to mortify the deeds of the body. And mortify means to put to death. Your body's urges are trying to put you to death. They're trying to lead you into sin that will lead you to an early death. So your spirit urges you to put it to death instead. This is a fight to the death between the spirit and the flesh. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that you literally slit your wrists. It means you die to the flesh. You refuse to listen to its siren song. You lay your body on the altar as a living sacrifice to God. Paul said, "I die daily." You deny yourself whatever it is that the flesh is craving, because whatever it is that the flesh is craving, you should deny it. Because the flesh was never designed to think. You cannot reason with the flesh. Pleasure and pain are the only language that the flesh really understands. Feelings. The flesh is programmed to respond to urges, and therefore anything that's urgent gets the flesh's attention. Whatever the flesh feels, that's what it responds to. And of course, that makes perfect sense, because your flesh cannot weigh the pros and cons of whether I should remove my hand from the burning stovetop. In a fallen world, the flesh has to respond urgently to all of the dangers that it encounters in this world. So it's not designed to think, it's designed to respond urgently, to design automatically. And so it needs to be that way in order to survive. But the downside of that is that the flesh cannot weigh the consequences of gratifying every urge that it ever feels. Eat without restraint and you're going to ruin your health. Fornicate without restraint and you're going to ruin your relationships. Sleep without restraint and you'll lose your job. But the flesh cannot see all of this. All that it knows is that it wants what it wants, when it wants it. And it wants it now, right now. And pain and pleasure. The flesh is the animal part of you from the dust of this world, and all it understands is what it feels. But now look, your mind was designed to reason. Your mind was designed to reason, but your mind obviously cannot reason with the flesh. However, in addition to a mind, God has also placed inside of you a heart. And the heart specializes in feeling things on the inside. And when your heart on the inside is more grieved and vexed by sin than your flesh on the outside is pleased by it, then your heart is speaking with the louder voice. When your heart hates sin more than your flesh loves it, then you're ready to walk in victory.